To make this project, we only need 2 colors and some stuffing. So it's super simple. I'm gonna be using Brava Sport Weight in the color Freesia, and then Brava Sport Weight in the color black, which is super simple. But I'm gonna set this one off to the side because I only need the Freesia to start. I've got a size E crochet hook. Feel free to use whatever size works best for you and your tension. You want this tight enough so the stuffing isn't gonna show through. We're also gonna need some polyfiberfill and a large-eyed needle to sew everything together. But at this point, we just wanna start crocheting. So we're gonna take the band off and we are going to start. This is your first time following along with me in a crochet video. This is gonna go on the floor because that's so much easier for me. And I'm going to do the stitches and tell you what they are. If you want a PDF or a written version of the pattern, you can go to my Etsy shop or my webpage, drunkenauntwendy.com, and get for a minimal fee, get a PDF of the pattern, and that helps keep it so that I can continue making patterns for you. Okay, so super simple to start with this. This is going to be an increase, and feel free to mute me if that makes you happier, but we are going to increase to 132 stitches around, which is going to be 22 stitches per 6, because I work everything in 6s. So that's how we're gonna do this increase. It's gonna take a while to increase, so feel free to follow along. I will say each row how many stitches I'm doing and what the increase is, and we will move on from there. I don't use a plastic stitch marker. I just like to use a spare piece of yarn. It makes things easier for me. Okay, so again, this is your project. You can do whatever you want, but if you would like to start my way, we chain 2, 1, 2. If you don't like that and you want to do a magic ring, feel free. I don't like the magic ring. I've never really been able to do it. All right, so the first row is going to be 6 single crochet in that second stitch from the hook. Okay, so that's 6. Now, this is why some people don't like to do the 2, but I just go like this, and that hole is gone. All right, so row 1's done, or round 1 if you prefer. So now for round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around for a total of 12. Of course, it appears that I only did 5. It sometimes happens. Always count that first row. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now for round 2, we are going to increase in each stitch around. So we have 1, stop that, 2, okay, and then 3, 4. And if you don't know what an increase is, it's actually just 2 single crochets in each stitch. So that's all you have to do is do the single crochet twice. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, pull that centerpiece just again and make sure, and then count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know why it didn't work, but it didn't, so let's do it again. Apparently, I can't count on this Monday morning. All right, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so because I can't count, and we don't want to keep messing with me trying to count, we're going to add a stitch marker, and we're going to go into round 3. So with round 3, you're going to do 1 single crochet, and then you're going to increase in the next stitch, and you're going to repeat that 6 times. So single crochet, increase, 6 times all the way around, so you end up with 18 stitches. And the whole reason I have this stitch marker is so I don't have to count every round. It makes me a much happier person. So now we're going to do round 4. And with round 4, if you continue to put the increase, like say I do 2 single crochet and then the increase here, you're gonna get more of a hexagonal shape instead of a round shape. So I spread out my increases on the even numbered rounds. So I do a single crochet and then I increase, and then I do another single crochet, and then I'm going to repeat that 6 times or 5 more times, and that will give me the round without giving that seam that you can sometimes get when you make amigurumi and you put the increase in the same spot every time. So in single crochet, increase, single crochet. All right, and then just keep going around till you get to your stitch marker. Okay, and as you can see, we're just making a circle. So I have this going to a certain size because that's how big I want this emoji imp to be. But you don't need to make it that big if it's not your style or you don't want it to be quite that big. All right, so now we're ready for round 5. And round 5 is going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase. And you're going to repeat that 6 times total. So you'll do the first one and then you'll do it 5 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and then your increase, and then repeat that around 5 more times. And a lot of times when I get to the end, I count to make sure I have the right number of stitches. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is perfect for what we're doing. This is perfect for just watching TV or listening to an audiobook, so you can just have something going on in the background as you just go around in circles. Ta-da! All right, so now it is going to be round 6, and again, we're going to split the increase and move it so it doesn't make a seam around the project. So you're going to go 2 single crochet, and then you're going to increase, and then 2 single crochet. And you continue that around, and when you finish this round, you will have 36 stitches. Okay, and you're done with round 6. Now we're going to go to round 7, which is 5 single crochet and then an increase, repeated times 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can increase. We are now on round 8, which is 3 single crochet, increase, 3 single crochet, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, and then you repeat. If you feel like counting, you should be at 48 stitches around. We're going to move on to the next round, which is round 9, if you're following along with the printed pattern. And that is going to be 7 single crochet, increase, 6 times. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then your increase, 1, 2, and then you're going to repeat that around 6 times so that you have 6 total. And this one's a fairly easy pattern, and if you wanted to modify it to make other emojis, there's so many round emojis. You could change the face, you could change the horns, you could change the color, you could make the stars for the eyes. You could do a lot of things with it. I only really wanted to do the one, so I stopped after 1. And since I was talking, I lost count. That's the one thing about crochet. Do you know how to count? Are you prepared to realize that you don't? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I did it right. Yay! Okay, you just finished round 9. You should have 54 stitches. We're going to do one more row, and then I'm going to take a break to stretch my hands because I have a touch of carpal tunnel and my fingers are starting to go numb. It's fun getting old. Okay, so the next row is 4 single crochet, increase 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're just going to repeat that around. Okay, that was a nice little break. My hands have definitely been stretched out. Right, we're moving on to round 11, which is 9 single crochet and an increase. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then you're going to increase it. Okay, and then just repeat that around. Okay, and now you're done with row 11, round 11, and you should have 66 stitches if you feel like counting. We're going to move on to round 12, and that is 5 single crochet, increase, 5 single crochet, 6 times. And now we do the increase. And then 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just repeat that around like we've done on all the other rounds. We'll meet back here at the end. Okay, we are now on round 13. If you notice it's curling up, that's okay. Just make sure when you stuff it that you realize this is the outside and this is the inside. Sometimes for design choices, you may want the inside showing, but in this situation, we want the outside showing because it is neater and cleaner. At least that's what I want. You do what you want. All right, 11 single crochet, increase 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and then increase. Bump, bump. You can make sound effects if you want. Apparently, I really like making sound effects to make it really work the way that I want it to. And continue around 6 times. Okay, that finished round 13. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit everything. Finished round 13. You should have 78 stitches. We're moving around on to round 14, which is 6 single crochet, increase, 6 single crochet, 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you're going to increase, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you just continue this around. Okay, we just finished round 14, so now we're on round 15. This is 13 single crochet, increase 6 times. You'll end up with 90 stitches at the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then increase. Repeat around. Okay, and see how that's making a nice round circle. There's no edges or seams where it is increasing. So this is why I spread my increases out. We are moving on to round 16, which is 7 crochet, increase, 7 crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then do your increase, bump, bump, and then do 7 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then you're going to repeat that section 5 more times to finish round 16. You just finished round 16. You should have 96 stitches. We did a little bit of cutting and editing there because I realized my iPhone charger cord was in the camera and I thought it might be a little distracting. We just finished round 16 and we're on to round 17, which is 15 single crochet, increase 6 times for a total of 102 stitches. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And now we're going to do our increase. Dun, dun. Okay, repeat that around 5 more times. We'll meet back when we get back around of our stitch marker. Okay, you have just finished round 17. Now we're going to move on to round 18, which is 8 single crochet, increase 8 single crochet 6 times to end up with 108 stitches when you're done. So it's 8 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I don't know what that is, but throw that away. Increase 8 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to continue that around, and we'll meet back at the stitch marker. Okay, you just finished round 18. We're going to move on to round 19. We're almost done with the increases, and then we'll do some single crochet rows, and then we will do the decreases, but we're going to keep increasing till it's just a little bit bigger so it gets that larger shape that I'm going for. Again, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But for round 19, it is 17 single crochet, increase 6 times for a total of 114 stitches at the end of the row. So let's do the first part together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then we're going to increase. All right, repeat that around and we'll meet back again. We are now on to round 20. In round 20, we're going to do 9 single crochet, increase 9 single crochet 6 times for a total of 120 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then we're going to do the increase. 1, and then 9 crochet, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then just repeat it around like we've been doing. Okay, we just completed round 20. We have 2 more rows of increases to do, and then we're done with the increasing, and you'll see how big this is going to be. If you decide you don't want to make it this big, make the face first, and then you can put the face on and you can see how big you'd like it. I'm doing it, for me, this is proportionate to the face that I'm making. All right, round 21. We are almost finished, I promise, at least with the increases. All right, so round 21 is going to be 19 single crochet increase 6 times. So 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And then you do your increase. Okay, repeat it around and we'll meet back. Oh, it's getting so big. All right, one more increase round, and that is going to be round 22. We are going to increase, we're going to do 10 single crochet, increase 10 single crochet 6 times for a total of 132 stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you're going to increase, and then do 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. You want to repeat that around, and we'll meet back at the end, and then I'll tell you what we do next. Okay, you have finished the increases, and this is how big your emoji imp is going to be. The next step is going to be from rounds 23 to 32 single crochet in each stitch. So that's 10 rows that you're going to just single crochet in each stitch. It'll thicken this up, and then we can start decreasing and stuff it. That's going to be a monotonous thing for you guys to watch, and it's going to take up way too much time for me to film. So meet me back here after you've finished 10 rows of single crochet. All right, we've completed 10 rows of single crochet. I have no idea if that transition will work. Let's just say I tried it, and we'll see what happens. Still learning how to work all this stuff. Okay, so now we've got the base of our little emoji. He's gonna be pretty big, and hopefully I'll be able to show you what he looks like in plush yarn and then size 10 crochet threads. You can see the different sizes that you can make just by changing the yarn and your hook to get different sizes. All right, so you've done your 10 rows. We are now going to go to round 33. Round 33, we are going to decrease single crochet 26 times. So you're going to decrease, which is crocheting 2 together. So you're going to go into the first stitch and then go into the second stitch and then crochet those both together, in case you didn't know what a decrease was. And then you're going to do 20 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And just like we did with the increases, we're now going to do this 5 more times all the way around, and I'll meet you back when you go back to your stitch marker, and we'll go to the next round. Okay, so you finished round 33. You should have 126 stitches. The next round is going to be decrease, single crochet 19. So we're going to decrease, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now you can see your decrease stitch. So I keep all the decreases in the same position as I'm going down, so I don't have to count every row. So I know when I see it, I decrease. You'll want to repeat that around. You can count if you want, but I just tend to not to. So we'll meet you back here when you get back to the stitch marker. Okay, you just finished round 34. You should have 120 stitches. Now we're going to do round 35, which is decrease 18 single crochet. And we're going to just repeat in that fashion until it's time to stuff it. But I will stop after every round so you know that you can pause in and see if you have the right stitch counts, okay? So now round 35, decrease 18 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Repeat around 5 more times. Okay, so we just finished that round, and as I'm putting it here so you can see how it's starting to come in, and I'm losing my hook. It'll come in, and then we can stuff it and it's going to be a fairly flat. It's going to be about an inch or two thick. But it's going to be a flatter item. It's not going to go in and out. It's just going to kind of hang out in this shape, but it'll come in, we'll stuff it, and then we'll close it up. All right, now we are on round 36. Round 36 is decrease 17 single crochet. So we're going to decrease, and we're going to do 17 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay, same as we've been doing. Repeat it 5 more times. Okay, you just finished round 36. You should have 108 stitches. And we're going to move on to round 37, which is decrease 16 single crochet. So we're going to decrease, decrease, and then 16 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So just repeat that all again. Yeah, we're getting these little I almost want to say seams, and that's okay because I'm going to use that to determine the front of my stuffy and the back. So I'm going to keep these along the back and put the face on the other side. I find that if I spread out my decreases, then I just have weird lumps, and that's just for me. So I do it this way. There is an invisible decrease technique. I don't personally care for it because I feel like it doesn't give me as much strength as I need. But you are free to do what you want. Once again, this is your project. So we'll meet back once we do this 5 more times. Moving on to round 38, which is going to be a decrease and then 15 single crochet 6 times. So we're going to do our decrease and then 15 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All right, we'll meet you back when you get back to the stitch marker. minute, you just completed round 38. You should have 96 stitches total. Now we're going to move on to round 39, which is going to continue in the same fashion. We're going to decrease and then single crochet 14. So decrease and then single crochet 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yep, 13, and 14. Okay, repeat that around 5 more times. We'll meet back here. Okay, now we're on to round 40, which is decrease and then 13 single crochet. Repeat that all 6 times. So you're going to decrease, single crochet 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Repeat it 5 more times. Okay, so you just completed round 40. You should have 84 stitches. And we're going to move on to round 41, which is going to be a decrease and 12 single crochet. So decrease, and then 12 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
And repeat around. We'll meet back at the beginning.
Okay, as you can see, it's definitely starting to close and it's starting to look more like a rounded shape, which is really cool. We are moving on to round 42, which is a decrease, single crochet 11, 6 times. So we're going to decrease, single crochet 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, continue that around. We'll meet back here. Okay, so you should have just finished round 42 and you should have 72 stitches left. We're back and it is now round 43. So we are going to decrease 10 and single crochet. Oh, sorry. Let's do that one over. We're going to decrease and then do 10 single crochet. I don't know where my brain was and why I said that wrong. So we're going to decrease, 10 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to continue this around. We'll meet back at the stitch marker. Okay, you just completed round 33. You should have 66 stitches. We're going to move on to round 44, which is a decrease and 9 single crochet. So we're going to decrease and single crochet for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably can guess what's going to happen next. You're going to repeat that 5 more times and we'll meet back at the stitch marker. Okay, so you may have noticed in the last round that was sped up, I threw in an extra decrease. At some point, my count got messed up, and so I just threw in a decrease to get my count to meet back up again. It wasn't worth tearing it all out to find out where I missed that decrease, because all of the seams look pretty good. It's just, if you're off by one stitch, it's no big deal. Throw a decrease in wherever works for you so that it can be hidden, okay? So now we're going to move on to round 45, and that's a decrease and 8 single crochet. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, repeat around, and you'll see it's going much, much faster now. We're almost to where we're going to stuff, and this is the longest and most tedious part of the whole process, is then we get to make the horns and the eyes and the mouth and the eyebrows, and all of those are pretty quick. Okay, so we'll meet back at the stitch marker. Okay, after you completed that row, you should have 54 stitches. We're going to move on to round 46, which is decrease 7 single crochet 6 times. So we're going to decrease, and we're going to do 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Repeat it around 5 more times. Okay, ready for round 47. You're going to decrease and do 6 single crochet 6 times. So decrease. Now 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Repeat that around. Okay, you just finished round 47. You should have 42 stitches left. So now I'm going to start stuffing, and when I do the stuffing, I usually take the hook out to keep it out of my way. I make the loop real big in case tension pulls on it and makes it smaller. And I like to start stuffing when I can get my whole hand in there, especially if I'm doing something this large where I'm really going to get in and push out these corners. That's really what I want to be able to do. So I've got a bag of stuffing over here on the floor. And then I've got more stuffing just in case this isn't enough. So I start with just a great big wad of stuffing, and then I shove it in, and then I push it all the way out to the corners like that. And you can always add more stuffing as you finish the last few rounds, but this will help give you an idea of the shape of it. So see, it's nice and round. It's quite fun. We will get more stuffing. And if you watch how I stuff, I stick my hands in the center and I push it out to the outside edges. I want to make sure that it's really going out to the sides to really fill out the shape. And that's easiest if you just shove it from one side. Be careful not to overstuff, because if you overstuff, you're going to pull apart your stitches. So you want to make sure you stuff it as well as you can without putting too much in. It's a delicate balance. It'll take some time, but the more you crochet amigurumis like this, the more you'll get used to doing this kind of thing. Okay. I kind of use my other hand to guide it to make sure it has the shape that I want. All of this stuff can be moved around, so this just helps you get the final shape that you want. All right, so now we're gonna close this sucker up, maybe add a little bit more stuffing as we go. So we're gonna get our stitch marker back. We're gonna pull back our loop by putting our crochet hook in and then pulling the loop back so that we have the proper tension. We're gonna move on to round 48, which is a decrease single crochet 5 times for 6. Okay, so let's do this over and let me try to say it in words that make sense. We're gonna do a decrease, and then we're gonna do 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to repeat that around, adjusting your stuffing as you go as you look at it, okay? So do that 5 more times. Okay, we're going to move on to the next round, which is round 49. We're going to do a decrease and then 4 single crochet. So decrease, 4 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to continue around, and you'll see that I keep manipulating and messing with it. I'm trying to pull the opening in a little closed so I don't have a lot of big openings at the end. So that's just my process, and I futz and fiddle with things as I go. I'm going to flip her over. I'm going to look at it, kind of check my shaping, squash it a little bit. It's got a pretty decent round shape, so I'm pretty okay with it, and the stuffing will move around as it settles. Okay, so you should have 30 stitches left. We're moving down to round 50, which is a decrease and 3 single crochet. So decrease, 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to do that around. Round 51, you're going to decrease 2 single crochet 6 times. So decrease, decrease, 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and then you're going to repeat that around. Try to keep your tension as tight as possible in this section. It helps having to avoid big holes, etc. You just finished round 51. You should have 18 stitches. Now's the time to check your stuffing and see if you want to add any more. I'm going to add just a little bit right in there. Now you're going to do round 52, which is a decrease and a single crochet 6 times. So you're going to decrease, and do 1 single crochet. And now repeat that around. Whew. All right, you guys, this is the last round of the body of our emoji imp. So you are just going to do 6 decreases. When you finish, there will be 6 stitches left. So we're going to decrease, decrease, decrease. This is 4. This is 5. Come on, you. And we should be at 6. Okay, so a lot of your patterns are going to say right here, fasten off. That's exactly what you're going to do, but if you don't know how, you're just going to cut your yarn. I usually leave quite a bit so I can sew or etc. It doesn't matter if I have too much, but it does matter if I have too little. Then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, grab it, pull it, and then pull it all the way through, and that secures that, and that's fastened off. Now your instructions will also say to thread this tail through a needle and close up this hole. We're going to do all of that together at the end when we put all the pieces together, okay? So there you go. You've finished the first part of your emoji imp. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the horns. You're going to make 2 of these. You're going to start with your slip knot and put your hook in. It's very, very exciting. And chain 2. Again, if you want to start with a magic ring, totally fine. Just not something that I do. Okay? And then you're going to do 4 single crochet for round 1, 4 single crochet in the second chain from hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, to make these horns so they curve, you are going to increase in the first stitch of every round as you go around. And I will talk to you each round, but it's increase and then single crochet the rest. So for round 2, we're going to increase. And then single crochet the rest, which is 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and you want to make sure that you have it not inside out, but right side out. It'll be more obvious as you get more rows in, but it should just start working up this way. I'm grabbing my stitch marker. We're moving on to round 3. Increase. Four single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these will work up a lot faster than the body of this little emoji imp did. All right, round 4, increase. And 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Round 6. Nope. Round 5. Round 5, increase. 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Round 6, increase. 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round 7, increase and 7 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 single crochet. 7 and 8. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong line. This happens sometimes. But know that you always increase on the first stitch and then single crochet around. So now it's round 8. We're going to increase and 9 single crochet. So increase, 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You should have 11 stitches at the end of that row. Now round 9, increase 10 single crochet. Increase 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Round 10, you're going to increase an 11 single crochet. So increase an 11 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. As you can see, it's starting to curl, especially if you push it in flat. It's just giving that little bit of a curve shape. Your stitches do twist a little, but it's okay. You can kind of manipulate it to be where you want it to be. So now round 11, increase 12 single crochet. Increase, which is 2 in the same stitch, 11 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I may have said that one wrong. So if that was round 11, which is increase 12 single crochet. So now we're moving on to round 12, which is increase 13 single crochet. Increase 13 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Move your marker. So round 13 is increase 14 single crochet. So increase, and then 14 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Move your stitch marker or just flip it over. That also works. Now we're going to do round 14, which is increase 15 single crochet, increase, 15 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, now you're on, and you should have 17 stitches now. Now you're on to round 15, which is going to be an increase and 16 single crochet. So increase, single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And now I usually like to stick my finger in and kind of curve it so that I know that it's doing the right thing. So, and if you ever wanted to make mittens, these would be great claws or something else for a larger project. Haha. Arr, arr, arr. Okay, I'm done. Sorry about that. Round 16, you're going to increase and do 17 single crochet, increase, 17 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Stop that. 17. Right, and so if you see when I lay it down, I try to put the fold part right where I did the increases, and so it curves. It might look a little funny, it's okay. The stuffing is going to help fix that. Okay, so now we have round 17, which is going to be an increase in 18 single crochet. So increase, 18 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Now, if you're following along with me, this is the last round for the horns. And it is round 18. You're going to increase and do 19 single crochet. So you're going to increase and you're going to do 19 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, so now you have your little horn. And he curves, and he's cute. So you're going to cut your yarn, leave a long tail so you can sew this on. Again, longer is better because then you don't have to pick up the yarn later. You're going to fasten off, which is just do a slip stitch through, and pull that tail all the way up. Woo. All right, and then you have one horn. So then what you're going to need to do next is make a second one. And now we have both horns for our little emoji. So we're going to set these off to the side and get the black yarn. We finally get to use another color. It's very, very exciting. And we're going to work on the eyes. So here's the black yarn. Again, this is also a Brava sport weight yarn from Knit Picks. If you get the Brava regular weight, your emoji might be bigger. If you get any of the plush yarn, it might be bigger as well. So we're going to work on the eyes. Again, you're going to start with a slip knot or chain 2, whichever makes you happiest. You're going to chain 2, and then in the second chain from hook, you're going to do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, that was round 1 of the eyes. You're going to go to round 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes I hate working in black yarn because it's really hard, but the light's really good in here, so I'm doing well. Now we're going to increase in each stitch. So that's 2 stitches in each stitch. So it's going to be increase, 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 increase. Pretty sure that was 4, 5 for an increase, and 6 for an increase. Now we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pull your tail up to make sure that center closes. Slip stitch in the next one. Pull through, cut your yarn, leave a long bit for sewing, and pull that through, and you have one eye done. Now go ahead and make your second eye. You're going to need to have 2 of them. Okay, so meet me back here when you have your second eye done. And now we have 2 eyes. So we are almost done. We need to do eyebrows and mouth. Once again, the eyebrows, you're gonna make 2. Now this is gonna be a little different. We're not gonna crochet in the round for this one. So for your eyebrows, you are going to chain 12. So make your slip knot, stick in your hook, and chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, you're going to go to the second chain from the hook, and you're going to single crochet. And then you're going to single crochet these remaining 10 stitches. I like to use the bumpy part. There are 3 parts to a stitch. There's the front side, the back side, and the bumpy part. I like to do the bumpy part, especially on pieces that I'm going to do, so it gives it like the chain on the top and the chain on the bottom. So we're going to single crochet for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, and 10. So again, you're going to fasten off. This is a little different because there's nowhere to slip stitch it to. So you're literally just going to cut your yarn and then pull your hook out and leave the tail in. So now you have an eyebrow, and I already have a second eyebrow. I'm not going to do the snappy thing this time. So we have our 2 eyebrows. It's very, very exciting. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the mouth. Okay, for the mouth, we're going to do it in black. We'll leave a little bit of a longer tail on our slip knot so that we can sew it in. Chain 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, and again in the second chain from the loop and in the bumpy parts, we're going to do a slip stitch. So that is literally, nope, just stick your yarn, your hook through, grab the yarn, and then pull it all the way through. You want to do 2 of those. Then we're going to do 3 single crochets. So we're going to put our hook in, wrap it around, and then pull it through. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets where we put a yarn over first, then go through, pull it through, yarn over, pull through all 3, doing 2 of those. Okay, now you're going to want to do 6 double crochets. If you don't know how to do a double crochet, yarn over, find your bump, stick your hook through, pull it through, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So we need to do 5 more of those. Yarn over, through, pull up, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Okay, and then we're going to repeat what we did on the other side when we first started to make it get smaller again. So 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, 1, it doesn't want to go in, 2, and 3, and then 2 slip stitches. So then you have a mouth shape, and you can make it a happy imp or you can make it a mad imp. And we're going to make it a mad imp. So cut off a long piece of yarn for sewing, pull that through, okay, so now you have completed all your pieces. We have a mouth, we have 2 eyebrows, 2 eyes, 2 horns that I had tied together, and our body. So grab a large eye needle and a little bit of stuffing, and we will meet back here to put it all together. So now we're going to sew everything together. So first things we've got to do, I've got a couple large eye needles over here, one that I'll probably use to pin things in place, but we got to close up this hole in the back. So you want to thread that through your needle, okay? And you're going to pick up each stitch, so thread this through all 6 stitches. And this is a little awkward because I normally pick everything up to sew it together, so to do it flat so you can see it in the camera is a little harder for me. Okay, then you just pull that up tight and the hole is gone. If you have any spots where you feel like your stuffing is showing through too much, feel free to sew those up too. Just use this tail to do that. Now with this guy, I've got large tails on everything else. I don't think I need the extra string, but we're gonna run this through the whole emoji just so those ends get nice and lost in the stuffing so you don't have any issues. Okay, you don't want to pull too tight so that there's pressure, but that popped out the front. I'm going to snip that, and now that end is disappeared inside. Okay, so if you have a trash bucket, throw all your ends in the trash bucket. Sometimes I save them for when I need stitch markers. Okay, so now we're going to sew on our pieces. I'm going to do the face first so that I know where I want to put the horns. And to that end, I'm going to do the eyes, then the eyebrows, then the mouth to try to make sure they're symmetrical. Yeah, sorry, everything is getting pulled over. It happens. So the center, we know where the center is, okay? So we kind of want to put the eyes. And play around with their placement. They're not permanent until you sew them in. So once you put them down, you can keep moving them. And I see, so I kind of want them to fit inside the mouth. He is an angry emoji. So his mouth is going to be like this. And then eyebrows. And eyebrows. Okay. So I like the way this is looking. So what I'm going to do, I only have the one extra. So I'm going to use it to hold in one set of the eyes, and then I can sew the other set in. So I'm just going to push that through, pop it up, and that will hold that in place, which makes everything really easy. Okay, so then I'm going to do the eye first and then the eyebrow. So I'm going to thread the eye on the needle. I'm going to move the eyebrow out of the way just so I can see. And once again, they're not permanent until you sew them in. So this can be adjusted how I put this one on. So I've tucked all that extra tail underneath. And I'm going to just put him right here. And if you want to count, it's your first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is about 6 rows out. And you're gonna sew those eyes down. I'm gonna readjust so I can do this a little easier. And the good thing about amigurumi or these kind of plushes is they move. So you can move it around to put it at the best angle for you. Oh, come on. Okay, so I'm coming up through the stitch, then I'm going down and catching a stitch underneath in the purple part, and then coming back up. And this is how I'm putting him together. I'm going to tilt this just a little bit. And if you have more pins, you can just pin the whole thing in place. I do like T-pins, which I use in weaving. And next project, I'll try to bring some T-pins so that I can show you what they look like and how I tack everything down with a T-pin. Okay, he's looking good. And this is your project, so if you want it to be a happy imp, you can make the eyebrows a different way. You can make them friendlier. You get to do the personality, and a lot of what happens with amigurumi is the personality shows up as soon as you put the face on. So I've gotten all the way around. I'm going to stick that through, shove it through down here so I can lose the yarn ends inside, and then they usually don't come out. Pull a little tight, and that popped it right in. Okay, I'm gonna move my mouth. It's in my way. All right, so I like how I have these eyebrows done. I want to try to get the eye to match, so I'm gonna count. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is about where it's at. We want to make sure it's the same. Go ahead and move the eyebrow. We want to get the eyes first. So I'm going to take the pin out because I just kind of tacked those in place for a second to get an idea. I'm going to thread my needle. Tack all, like that's a little long. I'm going to cut it a little shorter. Throw it over here with my scrap yarn pile. Excuse my arms being in all the shots. Okay, tuck that in and try to match height and everything so that it looks the way you want it to look. Again, it's your thing. So your facial expressions are all up to you. And we're going to tack this one on the same way. A little tail keeps wanting to pop out. That's okay. Okay, so I popped him up to check in, see if I liked it, and I think he's pretty good. So I'm gonna shove that through, pop it out, pull the yarn through, find all the pieces that were underneath him, snip, and get rid of this extra piece. There was a little bit of black showing, so I'm just shoving it in. Okay, so now let's put on some eyebrows. Now, if you've seen this guy, his eyebrows kind of go about halfway down his eye and then curl around. So I'm just gonna take one of my extra needles and kind of tack that sucker in place so he does what I want it to do, okay? Now we have two ends here, and that's okay. We're gonna use the long one first, and then the tail is if we need it, and if not, we'll just hide it, weave it in, etc. Okay? You would try to make sure that you didn't twist it. Thread your needle. Okay, and then I'm just going to start sewing this on. I want to get that tacked in nicely. I want to look at him real quick, make sure I like it. Okay, and then I go down and then up the other side. Okay, to take this out because it's just in my way. I don't normally pin things down, but I know a lot of people like to, so I was just showing you how you can do that if you wanted to. Okay. And every one you make is going to be slightly different. So because we're not machines, we're human, and we're gonna sew things on differently every single time because that's just what humans do. Okay. Hoping this is still in frame. It's really hard for me to sew the other way. I will work on a better method for showing you how to sew. Okay. And going down both sides helps really secure these pieces in case you're giving them to a child or even a dog. I know that my chihuahuas love these things and they are not destructive. So one of them just loves to carry around my plush. That's why they're usually locked up and he can't get to them. The plush, not the dog. Okay. All right. We've got that all the way around. We're going to push this through, pop it out the other side, or right at the eyeball, whichever makes me happy. Clip. Okay, so now we have this, like he looks like he's almost crying, like tears of black. So we're going to thread your needle. If I can see it at this angle. I'm using water. I mean, I can guarantee most of us put it in our mouths before we thread it, but I'm using water so that it doesn't go in my mouth, and getting it wet so I can tighten it up to thread it through. And I have a little spray bottle because I also do watercolor paintings, so it's just a spray bottle sitting here. And that just tail got tucked in. We'll snip that. All right, one eyebrow done, and now the next trick is we got to make them match. But they're sisters, not twins, so it'll be okay if they're slightly different. Just do your best, okay? So we want to kind of match it and then match the angle. Use that extra. He just likes to move around on me. I'm going to just do that. We'll look at it, make sure it's where I want it, and thread my needle. All right, now let's just sew this guy on. And look, and try to make them matching. So if you go through the stitches, then you don't get this little line here where I'm going over the stitches. It's just kind of your personal preference on how you want to do them. He's not up as high. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, taking that out. Okay, then come down the other side. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to get out of frame. Okay, and we're all the way back to the beginning. We just want to get that in there and then push it through and pop it out. Pull your needle out, cut, throw that off to the side, get rid of this little extra tail. And now he has a face. Are you super excited? Finally. This is one of those trust the process situations. You wait forever to get him to have a face that you like so you can be happy and be like, look what I made. That's also why I like amigurumi. It's pretty fast. I usually can end up with something fairly quickly. Tuck in that tail, snip. Okay, off to the side. Now we need to do the mouth. And I need to figure out where I throw all those extra needles. I have scissors. There he is. Okay. So by my reference photo, I want the mouth to be 1, 2, 3, about 4 down, and the curves to be inside the edges of your eyeballs. So one side I'm going to start sewing right away. So the other side I'm going to just kind of tack down so that it sort of stays in place while I do this to get the mouth in place. So thread your needle. There you go. Okay. And we're going to just start sewing this guy in. Okay. You can run along your round to make sure you're kind of getting it in the same spot. That's a favorite trick of mine. Make sure I did. I caught this extra piece. Don't catch the extra string. Okay. And for him, I'm going to do the top line first, the top curve, so I can adjust it. Again, I'm getting that string in. That's okay. And again, you can put this the other way and make it a happy emoji instead of a grumpy emoji. But I like the grumpy one. I was feeling pretty grumpy when I designed this project. Okay. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. Sometimes I sew things on crooked, so I have to check and make sure it's not crooked. All right, pulling my guideline out. Checking. All right, that's all good. Okay. All right, so that's starting to curve up. That's okay, because he's not fully done yet, so we can get that down to where it needs to be. So now you check, because you can still tear it out if you don't like the way that it looks. Excuse me. And since I don't want this piece to flip up, I'm going to go through and sew down the bottom part of that. Just okay. Okay, that's all done. So now you can just tuck in these two ends. Snip. Put it back up a little. All right, to the tail of your mouth. And just take that in. I'm going to pop it out over here. You can also, if you make the face first, sew the face on and tie off the pieces inside before you stuff it. But sometimes I like to know how it looks stuffed before I add the facial features, because things can move around when they get stuffed. Okay, so now we have the two horns. And it's going to be the same process. So for the horns, I'm going to place them just outside the eyebrows on those 10 rows of single crochet that we did. And again, you'll try to line them up and everything else. You want to stuff these. I realize I'm getting a shadow in here, and I'm sorry. I have the light on, but it's not blocking out the shadow of me. So you want to stuff your horn, and you'll see he gets that nice curved shape that we talked about. Don't put it as tight at the tip so that you can squeeze it, and then you'll have your curved shape. So stuff your other horn. There's my horn. Stuffing. Going a little bit down, but not all the way to that tip. And then I'm stuffing it the rest of the way. And then I'm kind of shaping it with my hand so I get the shape that I want. Okay? If you see, I don't have them super full. If I need to, I can stuff it more as I'm attaching it. Okay? I'm not going to pin these in place. I'm just going to eyeball. Pinning is perfectly acceptable if that's what you want to do. I'm going to thread my needle. Okay? And I'm going to check where my eyebrows are and put them about right there. And I'm going to flip it up so I can see how it looks. And then I'm going to sew it on this way. So you can see it's pretty much dead center. Okay. And sometimes sewing all the pieces together can take longer than crocheting it. I always save it for the end, but I really do love it when you get to see them all put together. But sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I made too many pieces. And then I get frustrated. But again, this rolls and moves, so feel free to roll it around so you can get the angle that you need to sew on your horns the way that you want them. And you know, when I was telling you need a long tail for sewing, it's because I just sew them directly on from their tails. And if it's too short, you have to add another piece of yarn, and sometimes that gets lost in the process, and it's another end to weave in, and I don't want to have that problem. So I always leave an exorbitantly long tail to make sure I have enough to sew these in. Okay, and we're almost done with this one. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other horn. We'll walk together. We'll do the placement together, but you can sew it on. I have faith that you can sew it on without me. And then we'll meet back and we'll have it at the end. Feel free to tag at Drunken Aunt Wendy so I can see your finished pieces. I'd love to see what you made from my video. Oops. All right, so he's all done. I'm going to tack in this one, and then I'm going to sew the other one, and we'll show off our finished products when we're done. This one this is going to get played with a lot more, so I'm putting it in a couple of times. Attaching it through the horn and then through the body of the pillow. Okay, and then cut. Okay, so you want to, again, put them up on the side so you can try to make sure you're in the same row. You see this one started just a little in front of the eyebrow, so I'm going to go a little in front of the eyebrow and try to make sure they're in the same row so that I can make sure it's symmetrical, okay? And we'll be back in a minute. Great, snip your last string. I did forget to say, make sure both your horns are pointing in the right direction. That'll make you a lot happier, but there you go. one finished, completed emoji imp. He's super cute. Do-do-do-do. He's doing a little dance. This is what my husband has to deal with. Anyway, thank you for crocheting with me, and I hope to see you next tutorial.